It's a special edition of Compas on the Beat. We will preview Super WildCard Weekend in 5 parts. And this episode is all about the Baltimore Ravens at the Cincinnati Bengals on Sunday. Obviously, to do that, I got to have Vic, the producer, Gilbert Manzano, Dan and Dago, and I'm Fernando Ramirez. Here's another game with a backup quarterback and potentially another blowout, to be honest. I mean, you got the Bengals and Joe Burrow favored by 8.5 points with against probably a Lamar-less Baltimore Ravens. Dan Dago called that a couple of weeks ago that we would not see Lamar Jackson the rest of the season.
Say it again now. I got that speech know. Let that speech know.
I'm gonna start off. By asking you, do you know who Anthony Brown is?
I know who Anthony Brown is.
Who is he?
I saw him last week. Didn't he get the hell kicked out of him? He's backup quarterback.
Oh, you were watching. You needed that.
Yeah, third string. Yeah, he's their third string quarterback, and he's a rookie from Oregon. But how the hell, Dan and Dago, can the Ravens win this game? Is there any chance for them, or like Vince McMahon says, there's no chance in hell?
No chance in hell. You've got no. Honestly, seriously, I just want to say Nostradamus strikes again, but that's another thing. That's another video for later. I don't think so, because the difference between right now, just looking at this on paper, between the Bengals and the Ravens, the Bengals have had continuity all season. Joe Burrow hasn't missed a game. Nobody's, I think, hurt or missed or anything else, and they're playing hot. They scored on the number one team in the AFC.
Their right tackle and their left and their right guard are out for the season with
there you go
injuries.
But Jamar Chase missed a month, but who was watching?
And that's the thing. It's like bad offensive line play hasn't really hurt Joe Burrow unless it's in a Super Bowl. But then again, the Zebras come into play because it's the beloved Rams, but it is what it is. But I think that's the biggest difference you're seeing right now. You have continuity with Joe Burrow, continuity with the players playing together and everything else. I feel bad for this poor kid who's getting thrown in right now who, didn't look good last week. And who knows how the hell he's going to look against this Bengals defense. Because
he's playing the same team over again.
Oh, they played him. They played him last week too?
Yes, sir.
Dude, I am so out of shape with all this stuff. I'm out of it. Like, I keep forgetting they played each other. Oh, yeah, I don't think – because that defense is very underrated in my opinion. They get after it, dude. Hendrickson and Hubbard and all these guys. I think that's his name, Hubbard. They get after it. I think it's not going to be easy. And here's my bold prediction. Lamar Jackson won't be a Raven come next year, because I said he was not going to come back because he was not going to risk himself further. I think because there's no deal done, I think, the writing's on the wall that he's leaving the organization or he's getting tagged and traded. Maybe we'll see.
Vic?
One of the things that I do like about the Ravens is their defense, especially since they traded for Roquan Smith and they just paid him a boatload of money because they're gonna guess. And this is gonna go contrary to what Dan and Dago just said. The reason they did that is because they're about to franchise Lamar Jackson, and they're going to play it year by year with Lamar Jackson. But in terms of that defense with what's his name again, Gilbert, the big guy up front for their defense. Calais Campbell. The only reason I asked is because he met him before, right as was it before you started writing or?
No, he was the first player I wrote a story on when I was interning in Arizona. And we also saw him in Vegas one time.
Yeah,
big dude. Massive dude.
Yeah, just wanted to give a shout out there to Calais Campbell.
Is he hurt or is he playing?
He's playing, and he helps that run defense.
Yeah.
Outside of that, with the Bengals, I like everything they're doing right now. I just have a couple of concerns with their secondary, and also the two linemen that Fernando talked about earlier. But outside of that, it's going to be an uphill battle for the Ravens, especially if they're having to have their second or third quarterback get on the field. I just don't know how they generate any offense. I mean, none of their wide receivers that they started the season with are there right now. They had to bring Mr. What's his name? Jackson in. Jackson. Yeah.
He's gone, right?
Is he gone? Is that who got him?
He's not on the depth chart that I'm looking at right now. So
they waived him.
So it's Watkins.
I hate that wave. It's cut.
Wow. Yeah,
DeMarcus Robinson's on that team. We got 2
Yeah,
cheap
DeMarcus Robinson. He's been a good player for them this season. But they're gonna have to rely on that running game, and see if they can somehow keep it close by pound and ground. That's pretty much all you can really do.
Gilbert, before you answer, if you were a team that needed, you were a quarterback away, would you trade? And he gets franchise tagged. Would you trade your 2 first-round draft picks? No, is it a 1 or is it's 2? Right?
That's 2. It changes every year, but it might be something like that.
Would you trade 2 first-round draft picks?
If you're the Ravens, you better ask for 2 first-round picks or even more. Oh hell yeah, in a heartbeat. Because you're seeing right now the last couple of years when Lamar Jackson's not playing, this Ravens team is terrible. But then on the downside, it's kind of like, hey, he's not asking you the question. On the downside, is like, can he stay healthy? That's kind of like in my head a little bit too. But
go ahead, answer how they can win this game.
Yeah, part of me, I'm going on a different topic here, but I'm annoyed that we get to watch 3 blowouts. Like, it's for sure none of these teams are gonna win. And the Detroit Lions are just sitting at home. Fernando, I know your team, you too, Dan Diego, and even you, Victor. We all love the Detroit Lions. From the 4
to say that I jinxed them.
Yeah, from the 4 here, I'm the least amount that loves them, but we all like them.
You're a hater.
No. Well, they're at home because they didn't get done before. We're watching Skylar Thompson and Brock Purdy. No offense, Brock Purdy, and Anthony Brown here, who I think is a basketball player or even a cornerback on the Cowboys.
Shannon Brown. Shannon Brown played for the Lakers.
There was an Anthony Brown on the Lakers. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I think Laker fans would know, Victor. But yeah, he was like a 3 shooter. Anyways, I'm blanking. They have no chance. I'm just stalling here to buy something. And they have Mark Andrews, who's a good tight end. Just throwing the ball to Mark Andrews.
He was a waste on fantasy football this year. Terrible. I had him in both of my leagues, and he was terrible.
Oh, okay. The Ravens have no chance. Poor Anthony Brown, who deserves a fruit basket from the Chargers because he got the job done to get him the 5th seed, even though they still wasted it. Shot again. Back-to-back weeks for Anthony Brown, and I'm done with this game.
Yeah, can I answer that question real quick, Frau?
Which question?
About the trading for 2 first
No, because I know where you're going to go. So
you need a running back.
Hey, he'll be a lot cheaper, I'll tell you that.
I think Dan would he would trade a first and Austin Eckler for Lamar Jackson.
No. I need Austin Eckler. That would just be his, yeah. Imagine Austin Eckler and Lamar Jackson in the backfield.
So obviously, I don't see any way that they can do it unless they run the ball really well. And like Vic said, their defense slows down the Bengals, but I just don't see how these guys can win. It's unavoidable. This is a blowout win, but I got to ask you guys, and I'll start with Gilbert on this one. Do you see any weaknesses on the Bengals?
It's tough, man. Like, I know like the defense is not sexy, but they do enough. And Dan, they gonna mention some of these guys. They even got Jesse Bates, the safety. Even guys like Eli Apple get it done. I know they're not really the most dominant defense like the 49ers, but when you're in the playoffs, especially nowadays when it's all pass heavy, you just gotta be good enough or above average and get some turnovers. And I think the Bengals do that. It's tough. Maybe if I want to nitpick, maybe I can't name their kick returner and the special teams. Are they good? Their kicker? Actually, the kicker's pretty good.
No. I think this year he's been a little off.
Oh, really? He was a rookie star last year.
Nickname also, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Sim Shady Kid. So maybe that's a weakness there. But when you're putting up 40 points a game with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, I think T. Higgins on the injury report. We'll see how he's doing. Yeah. And then Tyler Boyd and Joe Burrow. They're pretty stacked, man.
Vic.
There are a couple of weaknesses on this team. I feel mostly it's on defense, as we pointed out. I think I'm not talking about a weakness here, but I feel like DJ Reader, should have been a Pro Bowl defensive tackle, should have been named to the Pro Bowl. He's somebody that if you want to keep an eye on someone, is that defensive tackle for the Bengals. But for me, it's their corners, and their secondary. Outside of Bates, I don't trust some of their secondary players. But man, it's hard. Like even their linebackers, but everybody's linebackers, you can pick on, unless you have a stud like Raekwon Smith or, depending on the team you're talking about. It's kind of hard now with the way offenses are being run your linebacker to be able to stop the run and be able to cover tight ends and receivers nowadays. So yeah, it's pretty much the secondary would be my only concern for them, especially when they go up against a team like the Bills or even the Chiefs. But as we've seen, they own the Chiefs, so it comes down to the Bills. It'll be interesting if they do end up meeting the Bills again.
I think you made Dan. They were happy when you said they own the Chiefs.
They do.
I love it. I hate seeing the Chiefs win. I like Andy Reid, but he's had enough now. He already won the Super Bowl.
They could they could struggle against teams that have good pass rush. Dan, what do you think?
That was going to be my thing. That's what I think could be the weakness. Can you keep Joe Burrow upright? Because I know in free agency they spent on offensive linemen and got some of these guys, but they didn't look too well early in the season. So if they've corrected it, maybe. But the thing is, Joe Burrow can only get you so far, and I think we saw that last year. Besides the Zebras, I think Joe Burrow did everything he could in that Super Bowl. He was getting harassed left and right. And that's always the biggest thing. You give this guy, that 3, 4, 5 second range, and he's going to find somebody. And even if you can't keep him upright with 5 offensive linemen, you need to design better plays to get the ball out fast, or you need to keep in, 1 or 2 extra blockers and competent blockers, not like some teams who bring on extra offensive linemen and they get penalties or they suck. So you need to be intelligent in all these design things. Everything, there's a method to the madness always, and you got to make sure it's executed properly.
You guys make good points with the pass rush, but when you think about the Chiefs and the Bills, do you think about dominant pass rushers? I don't.
Actually with the Chiefs.
Are you kidding
Carlos
me?
Dunlap, Chris Jones.
Chris Jones.
Yeah, but he's not a traditional edge guy. He's not gonna be up. He's gonna be.
He looks like Aaron Donald.
Yeah, but he's gonna go. They're gonna put him up against that right guard and make him go up against that right guard.
I'm thinking 2 edge rushers like Nick Bosa coming at you.
I saw that Aaron Donald made that NFLPA All-Pro team.
Yeah,
I'm like, how?
That was a reputation pick.
Yeah, that was a reputation pick, I thought. But my bad. Going back to that, that's the Chris Jones, and then who else? They have Frank Clark.
Frank Clark, all right. Yeah.
But I just think they're gonna end up lining Chris Jones right in between that guard in the center, right in between that guard and that tackle.
Jones is lethal.
He's been very good this year.
He should. For me, it's between Bosa, Nick Bosa, and Chris Jones for Defensive Player of the Year. If you've seen the numbers on Chris Jones, the only thing that because nobody pays attention to the defensive tackles, but if you're not Aaron Donald, but Chris Jones has been the best play.
You could double team the interior guys. You could triple team the interior guys. Edge guys.
The good ones make it happen, dude. I'm telling you.
I know you guys are hogs. You're trenches guys inside, but
Gilbert, would you ever extend the MVP to the postseason too? Like, I don't know why they just do regular season. I'd love to see
the
all
MVP
the way to the postseason.
The MVP period is an idiotic trophy. It's only for the quarterback.
So, the only other weakness I agree with you guys. Those are the weaknesses. My question is, can they continue running the football? Because I know that they've done a good job of running the football, but can they run it now with the injuries that they have on the offensive line? Because that's been one of the things that they've done really well. Joe Mixon's done a really good job running the football, and I think that he's a big part of their offense, and now they're gonna they could slow down. What were you gonna say, Vic?
No, all I was gonna I agree with you, because one of the things I've heard from people is that actually Samaje Perine fits better in this offense than Mixon. Like when he was out, they were scoring more points. So, and I was like, I had to think about it. I was like, wait, are you saying Mixon? And it was like the way people talked about it was, or it was explained is, he fits better with the offense they're running, not that he's a better player.
Yeah, a good blocker downfield.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's go to predictions. Dan and Diego, I'm going to go with you.
I just want to say real quick, the reason why Chris Jones is so dominant or so important is because if he comes into your face as a quarterback, you can catch a helmet on your hand, disrupts your throwing motion, and obviously could mess up your grip and other things and your ligaments and muscles and stuff like that. So that's why I'd say he's very important. He can cause a lot of havoc. Anyway, my prediction, just a real quick to rebut Gilberto. I'm going with the Bengals. I'm going with the Bengals. I think the Bengals are going to take care of business. Who are they playing? The Ravens. You know, I think it's probably going to be a
You
similar.
forgot.
I think it's going to be. Did I get it wrong? No, right?
No, you're right. You're right.
Got
Yeah,
it. Yeah,
that's
they
fine.
played each other last week, by the way.
What?
They played each other last week too, by the way.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that part. I think it's going to be like last week. What was it, like 27-10 or something like that? I think
No, it was like 40 to like.
Well, there you go.
18.
I think it's going to be the same type of thing. I think they're going to take care of business. I think John Harbaugh is going to take a long look in the mirror. Exactly. That's how I felt. I keep forgetting they played each other. John Harbaugh is going to take this offseason to look in the mirror and say, holy crap, where do I go from here?
Gilbert, we're getting deep.
Yeah, I know, right? So
Crisis.
when the Bengals and Chiefs play each other, that would be the second round, right? And
No.
Chris Jones gets
The second round? Are you trying to
it'd be Chargers or Jaguars versus
No,
Chiefs in the second.
the Bills are the number one seed, so it'd be
No, the Bills aren't the number
Chiefs.
one seed.
Okay.
Yeah,
No,
because of
when the Bengals and the Chiefs
speculation.
play each other in the AFC Championship rematch, and Chris Jones puts a helmet on Joe Burrow and messes up his hand, play this video.
You just said the Chiefs and the Bills playing in the second round.
Whatever. Are you trying to make a point here? You said he was trying to paint a picture of Chris Jones in the helmet. He's very specific. Let me have the joke here and move on. Play the video when it happens. Yeah, this game is terrible. I don't even want to watch it. You have to force me to watch it. 39-10 Bengals.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be good.
Wow.
That's our third blowout, right?
Vic, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be like 42-7. It's not even gonna be close. I mean, I keep giving out these big scores, but the only thing that kind of gives me hope that these games stay close is that they're divisional games. This is the only one. This is the only bad thing I don't like about the extra team getting in now with 7 teams in is terrible. That we're getting a bunch of divisional teams playing each other. I wish. Yeah, I know. No, I'm good with that. I just, like there should be a rule that you shouldn't play your divisional opponent unless, something to kind of, and it won't happen, of course, but it's just, it kind of messes things up when you've already faced that team. I wouldn't mind it if it happened in the next round, but in the first round, it kind of sucks.
That should be a burial of the week. This extra game and extra 7C, it's dumb.
Okay, so I'm gonna go. Oh. What? Go ahead.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, you already interrupted me.
Well, I was gonna say what I hate is that, like, I don't know why they don't do a ranking by who has the best record. To me, it's ridiculous that some of these teams get a home game.
All right, so I'm gonna go with Bengals. I'm gonna go Bengals 38, Ravens 21. So we appreciate you guys for watching this video. Don't forget, we got more breakdowns from Super WildCard Weekend. We got the Seahawks versus the 49ers.
What?
We got the Dolphins at the Bills.
What?
We got the Giants at the Vikings.
What?
And we got Cowboys at Buccaneers. And for you fans who want Chargers and Jaguars, you guys are like, where is it? Who? We have it on What's Up Bolts. Go over there, check it out. And don't forget to enter the contest for a homage shirt for a Chargers Justin Herbert t-shirt as well. Gilberto will be giving that away. He's tired of having it in his house. He wants to get rid of it. So don't forget to check that out as well. We appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for watching. And don't forget to watch the other videos